Hello gorgeous people and happy Easter. Today I am thinking about doing a little bit of a vlog, not for very long, just for like the next couple of days or so. I've just come back from a little reading date with my buddy. We went and had some cake, some hot drinks, some kombucha, and did a lot of reading. So the book that I took with me and dedicated like the 3.5 to 4 hours that we were reading for to is An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. And this has been on like a soft DNF, not even a DNF, because I had every intention to finish it and continue it. And honestly, I'm reckoning this book is probably going to be like a 4 or 5 stars. But I say soft DNF because I haven't picked this up properly in like at least a month. I'm figuring probably closer to 2. This was originally a buddy read that I had with my friend Deborah from Hills of Books on Instagram, and we've both just kind of like put it down. I don't know if we just had things going on. And Elsa, you shouldn't be up there, young lady. I've not seen you up there before. Bear with, she needs to get down. She's gonna knock down all the living dead dolls I have up there. There we go. It's quite stable there. I don't care if she's there, but over there where it gets to my poorly made shelves, I'm like, no, someone's gonna have an accident. Anyway, I just wanted to dedicate some more time to this because I really would like to read it and finish off reading it this month, and I've been loving it every time I picked it up. So that was my focus, and honestly I've read quite a big chunk. I didn't take a note exactly of where my page was last, but I'm sure if I go on Storygraph or something it will have my last updated page count. But yeah, I'm currently on page 292. I know I've paused in the middle of a chapter, sacre bleu, but I'm loving this. It's basically about Lennon, who is enrolled suddenly into this mysterious school, like university, called Drayton University, Drayton College, whatever, where they study the art of persuasion. So it's kind of like a mental arithmetic. It's magic. It's got a lot of moral speculation because you're invading someone's mind to manipulate their decisions and their choices. And so you learn that a lot of this is used in highly political stakes to kind of manipulate the decisions and outcomes of leaders' choices for war, that sort of thing, negotiations. That's the kind of like job roles these academics, I guess you could say, will fall into. I'm really enjoying it. It's taken me an age to read just because I kept putting it down personally so that I could read books that I was on like book tours for or had ARC copies for, and I needed to kind of have like priority of those, if that makes sense. But don't let it be twisted that I'm not enjoying it, because I am loving this. And if anything, I believe that dragging it out this long is actually making me love it more, because I long to be back in the world, and when I'm so like addicted to it. I crave it. It's just a great time. So yeah, I read a good chunk of this whilst I was there, and now that I can see the end a little bit, it's kind of making me want to push on a little bit more. So I'm planning on doing some more of that, reading more of that over the coming days. So this will probably be my focus. I have to, for this evening, wrap up A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske, which is a book that I managed to sell on eBay. So I'm going to send that off, I think, probably tomorrow. This is an Illumicrate exclusive. It is a beautiful edition, so I hope they end up enjoying the story. It's got gorgeous sprayed edges, so I'll get that all wrapped up. And yeah, that's really it for plans this evening. I just want to sit down, get some more reading. So yeah, let's do that. Not gonna lie, I've been sitting here doom scrolling. However, to stop that, let me show you some books that I've just unboxed. So I'll pop a little clip of the TikTok reel that I was doing, but I ordered some books on Vinted and they came. It was just like a set of books, and this is the Saints of Steel series by T. Kingfisher, and I've since put them in the right order. So we have Paladin's Grace. How stunning are these covers? These are published by Orbit. I just love this like periwinkle colour. Then there's Paladin's Strength, which is this gorgeous green shade. The art and the detail is absolutely stunning. Then there is Paladin's Hope. Honestly, mainly a cover buy for these because I don't actually know an awful lot about them other than that they're like bodyguard kind of romances, I believe. Cozy fantasy. I think they're queer as well, which is awesome. Hopefully they are. But yeah, apparently they're like a blend of dark cozy fantasy, and I think they follow different people in each book, so I'm not sure entirely if they're like a cohesive story or if you can pick up any book in the series, but in terms of actual order, this is the third one. And then the last one is Paladin's Faith, and this is a beautiful pink color, so beautiful, and together they just look so stunning. So this is to add to my ever-growing Tea Kingfisher books that I actually haven't read any from them yet, but I plan to. And potentially this could be one of the first, but I think I might read one of their like horror books first, most likely. So yeah, now I'm actually gonna make myself a cup of tea, I think, and sit down and do some more reading, and yeah, just chill out for the evening as I was intending to do, even though I didn't. It's quite chilly though. I think I'm gonna put some candles on, try to forgo the heating for as long as possible. I probably just need trousers on because I'm wearing like a flowy skirt, and that's attracting coldness to my legs, so that's probably it. But I do have a blanket over there that I could just throw over my legs. So yeah, gonna make myself a hot drink and chill. So my buddy loaned me this book. He finished it on our reading day earlier today, and it just sounded brilliant. Basically, the premise is that at the age of 22, people find this mysterious box, and within that box is the string that coincides with the length of your lifespan. So it brings into question all these moral questions, I suppose, on would you open your box? What would you do if you had a short string and your loved one had a long string? What does that equate to, like, your quality of life? And then it also depends on whereabouts you are, because some countries are telling you you're forbidden, you have to hand it straight into the authorities. Others are saying you have to declare what kind of lifespan you have and then hand it over. It's mandatory for some jobs to know, and it sounds really scary but brilliant, and he really liked it. I think he gave it a 4 out of 5 stars in the end. And you follow 8 different people's perspectives and their lives kind of entangled with this strange new phenomenon. It's called The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich, and I hadn't heard of it before, but it just sounds absolutely brilliant. So I hope I love this. Just thought I would share that as I was talking about books recently that I've acquired. But I got my cup of tea, and now I'm gonna sit and do a little bit more reading of An Academy for Liars. So join me if you will. Good morning. It is Bank Holiday Monday, about 10 o'clock, and I have had my breakfast and everything, got ready for the day. I'm about to head to the gym, which I'm hoping is open. It's 24 hours and it doesn't say that it's closed. I think it's just probably going to be unmanned. So I'm going to head down there now. I'm going to walk down, hit the gym. Oh, that's a point. Is the post office open? Might have to go to the post office first, because if they are open, they're probably going to be like Sunday time, so close earlier. Get something posted and then hit the gym. So yeah, and then I think as I'm walking, I'm probably going to read more of Academy for Liars, and then when I'm actually working out, I'm going to listen to an audiobook called The Witch and the Tsar, which is kind of like Russian, Slavic in general folklore. about the Baba Yaga, and I really need to finish that off because I haven't listened to it for a little while, so probably going to do that. Oh, that reminds me, I actually need my headphones because otherwise I ain't listening to nothing. So the post office was shut, so I'm gonna have to go out again tomorrow, which I was planning to do anyway, but might hit the gym again. I'm planning on going on Just Dance later, or relatively soon, so I'm just, you know, marinating in my sweat juices, because there's no point me showering and then just dancing and then sweating again and then showering again, so I'm probably gonna just wait until later to rinse all the grime off of the day. I've read quite a lot of An Academy for Liars, so I think what I'm going to do before Just Dance is sit and make a cup of tea and eat some, I think they're dandelion cookies that my friend Andy made, so I'm going to eat some of those, have my tea. I'm currently on page 405 of this, literally a couple of pages left, so see how much I can get of that read before the urge to dance strikes me. Yes, I'm wearing the same top as yesterday because it was like, well, I'm going to utilise it in the gym before I chuck it in the wash, so made sense. And yeah, so that is the plans for now. Right, so it's nearly 5 o'clock and I have been doom scrolling, but I've also been doing quite a bit of reading as well. And I've got to page 430, so I've got literally like 5% left of the book and I'm loving it. The stakes are super high. There's been so many twists and turns. It's so dark and gritty and just, oh, the atmosphere and the story development has been fantastic. But now it's time to pause on that and it's time to duel Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, it's not, I just want to say that. It's time to dance. I'm going to do some Just Dance. I don't know how long for, until I get tired, probably, because I think as soon as I start moving, I'll realise that my body hurts from my little workout earlier. But we're going to give it a go. I think I might have like 2020 or 2019 in my Switch at the minute, so I'm probably gonna just keep whatever's in there. Shall we have a look? Actually, let's have a little gander. Yes, I've got 2020 in there, so I'm gonna do some dancing to a couple of songs, and who knows, I might treat you to some of that. I have just finished An Academy for Liars and this was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved the ending. I felt like I was fighting back tears. Oh, the way everything kind of came to a head, like the final battle, I guess you could say. Everything was just so well done, executed fantastically. Wow. I'm almost at a loss for words. I think this is going to be a 5-star read, a 5-star rating now that I've read it. But yeah, this was absolutely brilliant. Took me a long while to finish it off, but I did it. I'm here. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I'm really kind of heartbroken that it's over now. This was fantastic. Last little check-in before I go to bed. I'm so sorry for the graininess. It's night time. I was reading some of this book. I don't know why I've struggled to remember. It's right in front of me. Amulet Volume 2. This is The Stonekeeper's Curse. But I also was playing some of a game that I purchased on sale a couple of weeks ago on Nintendo Switch, and it's Palia. And I'm also, well, I was watching a documentary as well. But yeah, back to reading. I'm doing some of this until my eyes fall out, and at the minute there's this like cute scene that's giving very The Hobbits meets Wizard of Oz in this scene that we're probably going to be able to see properly because it is so dark, but it's super cute. And I realise I'm sounding very odd right now because I am on like a sleep strain. I need to sleep basically. Okay, night. I'm just taking a seat, but I think I made a rookie mistake because I'm pretty sure the grass is wet. I had my physio appointment about an hour ago, or just over an hour ago, and it was like an in and out job. They got me to do a few movements, asked if it hurt, asked me some questions, and then they sent me like a text of exercises. I thought physio was you go into like consistent sessions where they actually help you through the motions. I don't know if COVID just changed it, and now it's like, well, you can do this on your own, but I'm not a qualified physiotherapist, so I can look at a picture, I can watch a video, I don't know if I'm doing it properly. I personally need someone to guide me through it, but yeah, they said, yeah, if it's not better in 6 weeks, then come back and be re-referred, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I haven't like changed doctors yet since I moved, because I barely use it other than like my consistent prescriptions, my medications that I take daily, but I try to rarely use my doctors. But I walked all the way here, which is like an hour away, just for a 5-minute conversation, if that. I don't know, I'm a little bit peeved, but hey ho. On a better note, I have since finished The Witch and the Tsar, and I gave that one a 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I think my biggest thing was that I really should have just stuck with what I was intending to do some blended reading. I was going to read physically alongside the audiobook, and that would have made the experience so much better for me because it was so rich and detailed and complex, especially with names, and it's Slavic folklore, so they have a different way of using names and titles than I do in my English language, right? So they've got like these different nicknames, and they've got like the marriage names, and it's a lot to take in if I don't see it on the paper, and I think that's kind of just where I fell down a little bit. But the story in itself was so rich, so complex. It was a little bit more politically intrigued than folklore-y, whimsy gothic than I was expecting, but it did have still a hearty amount of that. But yeah, I just think I would have had a better go at it if I had the paper in front of me, which I was intending on doing, but then I got overwhelmed with all the books on my current reading list and kind of just opted for me at the time, the quickest route of reading through the book, even though it took longer. Still, I don't know. But the story itself was absolutely brilliant. The writing, the narration was fantastic, and I definitely read more about this author. And I'm not adverse either to going back at a later date and just reading through it like as I intended, like either blended reading or just physically, because the story itself was so much happened. I loved that. Basically, it's about the Baba Yaga, the house with chicken legs, but it's told with a feminist perspective. She's not the old brutal hag that everyone kind of talks about, coming along and stealing your children and whisking them off to her house with chicken legs. She is a woman outside of that, and you see her childhood and growing up and this destiny that she has, but also the life that she wants to live outside of that. And she has her own desires, but she's still kind of you know, go in with the motions of the old gods in conjunction with this new wave of like Christianity and solo god that's coming into contention. Yeah, it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it, but I just couldn't. I felt like I was watching it through like a veil almost, like I couldn't fully absorb myself into the story. But yeah, I think that was just a me thing. So yeah, I think later on now we're gonna go and see a new movie at the cinema. We was gonna see Death of a Unicorn, but they didn't have any evening viewings. So we're gonna see Sinners, which is another one we really wanted to try, and that's gonna be a late viewing, so we're probably gonna have some food whilst we're out as well. And then I think this vlog is slowly gonna dwindle out, so I'll catch you shortly. We are nice and early at the cinema to see Sinner. We've got some strawberry cable sweets, and yeah, I'm super excited for this film. Hello. So I never did tell you about Sinners, which I absolutely loved. So that was the movie that we went and saw last night. It was brilliant. It was Deep South meets vampires. It had Michael B. Jordan in it. It had Hayley, I always forget her surname, but she's like Vi in Arcane, and she's in Bumblebee as well, the Transformers movie. She's in lots of stuff. She's the Hawkeye's apprentice in the Hawkeye TV show. It was brilliant. There were so many other actors in it that was fantastic, and I was almost worried that it would be like kind of just a load of great actors to shy away from a shoddy plot, but the plot was fantastic, the music was fantastic, it was brilliant. Yeah, in terms of reading, I have actually started another book, The Thicket, which is an audiobook that I'm listening to. I don't really know too much about it, to be honest. I think I'm about like 10% in, and I'm not that gripped, so I don't know if I'll continue on with that. I know the whole point of this was supposed to be like cutting down my current reads, but I don't know, somehow it didn't. And I also started a book for book tour that I'm on for the end of May, and that is Generation Queer, and it's kind of like that was non-fiction about different young activists in the queer space and their stories, really. I'm still reading Amulet Volume 2. I've just come to the bedroom now actually to do a little bit of reading and just to chill out because my head's hurting a little bit, so I'm probably just gonna chug away at this volume, hopefully get this finished today or tomorrow. And yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining me in this little vlog. I hope you've had a great time. I've had a great time, and I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.